What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Thursday, May 15th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. We're also going to look at that NBA playoff game between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. I'll give you my dog of the day and pick out my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, went okay. Not our best day ever, but a winning day nonetheless. We had the Twins minus 110 there in game one. It was a 6-3 win. Kremer was pretty bad, but so was Ober. Minnesota's bullpen was solid, though, and they come up with 6 runs, so that gets the job done for us. We had the Mariners minus 105. That was kind of a tough 3-2 loss there. Couldn't really do much to overcome that Aaron Judge home run. We had the under there in that White Sox-Reds game, under 9, and yep, 4-2 White Sox win in that one. Another under at the Great American Ballpark, so not going to be scared of that. We had the under in that Colorado-Texas Rangers game, and unfortunately that ended up being an 8-3 win there for the Rangers. Colorado's pitching was just too bad for that to come through, despite both teams being huge under teams this year. So that trend let us down, but Porzingis, an easy cash there on the under on his points. His over-under was 15.5 points. He scored 1 point in 12 minutes. That play, in hindsight, feels like it was probably the lock of the century. He just has not looked like himself. We had the Tampa Bay Rays, plus 120 as our dog of the day. Our first loss on a dog of the day play in quite some time. It was a 3-1 loss, so not a blowout. Yeah, pretty close stuff. A 3-run 6th inning, and Tampa Bay just couldn't get couldn't get on the boards. Couldn't get on the board at all. So, yeah, what are you going to do? We had the Tigers minus 220 as our massive lock of the day, and it cashed, so another win there on the lock of the day. However, it was sketchy, guys. It was a 6-5 walk-off there in the bottom of the ninth. Skubal was actually terrible in this game, but the Tigers' bullpen was decent, and they just came up with enough offense to get the job done for us. So that moves us to 17-5 in the history of the lock of the day. That's pretty crazy stuff. So, guys, let's go ahead and jump into our first game here on this very short Thursday slate. We've got the Washington Nationals going on the road to take on the Atlanta Braves. The Nationals come into this game fresh off of a nice 5-4 win there in Game 3 of that series against Atlanta. So they avoid the sweep, but now they've got to try and earn the split here. Wood driving that go-ahead run in the 8th inning. Pretty cool stuff there for the Nationals, who are on quite the skid. Now, they're going to be hitting the ball in this game to Trevor Williams, who's 2-4 on the year, a 5.88 ERA, so hasn't exactly been helping. He's given up at least 4 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts, so that's also not ideal. And those starts were against the Cardinals, Reds, and Mets, so well, not a bunch of easy teams, definitely not the toughest teams out there. So certainly plenty of room for concern here about Trevor Williams. He's just not been very good at all this season. So the Nationals see what they can get from him. They'll also be seeing what they can get from their bullpen, which has been a huge part of their struggles this year. A 6.86 bullpen ERA, clearly an issue. Now, maybe they can get a little bit better, but I'm not going to be holding my breath for this Washington bullpen to be good anytime soon. They've looked pretty bad, and the offense hasn't been amazing. They've scored 5, 2, 3, 1, and 2 runs over their last few games. CJ Abrams getting in the mix. He's batting .311. That definitely helps. James Woods with 11 home runs and batting .274. That certainly helps as well, but 16th in the majors in runs scored. I don't know if that's really sustainable because they're 20th in batting average, batting .237 as a team, and 23rd in on-base percentage, getting on base at a .306 clip. So not a lot of great news coming out of that offense there for the Nationals. Now, they're taking on the Braves in this game, who have won 2 out of 3 so far in this series. They're 21-22 on the year, so not killing it. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to A.J. Smith-Shawver, who's 2-2 this season, a 2.76 ERA. This very young guy, 22 years old, has been dominant lately. His last 2 starts, albeit against the Reds and the Pirates, very good. Gave up a total of 1 earned run on 6 total hits, pitching 13 2/3 innings. Both of those games were eventually wins there for Atlanta, and Atlanta is actually 4-0 over his last 4 starts. So I don't have a whole lot of bad things to say right now about A.J. Smith-Shawver. However, he's a young pitcher. We're going to expect some inconsistency at some point. So we'll see what he can do out there. The Atlanta bullpen should be fine to relieve him whenever he does eventually get in trouble. They've been above average this year. Not dominant, but above average. A 3.62 bullpen ERA doesn't give me too much reason for concern. In terms of the offense for the Braves, that's kind of been the bigger problem for them. They're 20th in the majors in runs scored. They are 16th in slugging percentage and 17th in batting average, batting .240 as a team. So maybe they're going to be all right, but I don't know, guys. Not an offense that really gets me going. I mean, they've scored 4, 5, 4, 3, and 3 runs over their last few games, and that's covering series against the Nationals and the Pirates. Like, you need to be scoring some runs, and that's just not been part of the journey here for these Atlanta Braves. So looking at the numbers, I'm a little surprised at what they look like. The Nationals are plus 180. The Braves are minus 220. We've got totals out there of 8.5 or 9. Washington, 8-14 on the road. 13-8-1 to the under on the road. Atlanta, 14-7 at home. 12-7-2 to the under at home. It doesn't feel amazing. We do have 9s out there, but I think this is a spot we got to look at the under. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of offense in this game. We haven't seen a crazy amount of offense in any game this series. The highest scoring game was the last one. It was 5-4, which would be a push. So I think we're going to lean towards the under. In terms of a side, I can't really justify taking the Nationals here, although it doesn't feel impossible. And I'm not interested in the Braves at minus 220. That's too expensive. I'm also not interested in them at minus 1.5. So just give me the under in this game, and I'm going to stay away from the rest. Next up, we're looking at the Minnesota Twins going on the road here to take on the Baltimore Orioles. The Twins come into this game 23-20 on the year, continuing that crazy winning streak. They're up to 10 straight wins here, sweeping the Orioles in that doubleheader yesterday. And slam that like button if you enjoyed cashing that early pick there on game 1 of that series where the Twins won 6-3 there at Baltimore. So they've got to be feeling pretty good. Going to try and finish this series off with another win. Hitting the ball in this game to Chris Paddock, who's 1-3 on the year, a 4.76 ERA. His last start, though, was very good against the Giants. 7 1/3 innings, 3 hits, only a single earned run allowed. He's been very good recently, to be honest. Excellent, borderline excellent. Anyway, he did give up 3 earned runs against Boston, but other than that, it's given up 2 or less earned runs in each of his last 5 outings. So loving what we're seeing from Chris Paddock right now. It's looking very, very good. The Twins bullpen also hasn't been, a huge problem this year at all. They're 5th best in the majors, a 3.08 bullpen ERA. So a ton of positives. This offense has been going as well. 8, 6, 7, 2, 3, and 5 runs over their last few games. They're turning things around after a very slow start. Now, they're still 22nd in the majors in runs scored, so not great there, but a lot of these numbers are trending in a positive direction. Team batting average is on the rise. Team slugging percentage is on the rise. I think this offense is going to be all right. So we'll see what they can do here against the Orioles, who come into this game 15-26 on the year, straight up not having a good time. A massive fall off from what we were seeing last season. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Tomoyuki Sagano, who's 4-2 this season, a 2.72 ERA. He's been one of the few bright spots for this team. Now, he's fresh off a very good start at the Angels. So it's the Angels, a pretty bad offensive team, but still got to give him credit where credit is due. 7 1/3 innings, 3 hits, only a single earned run allowed. Now he's got to go up against the Twins, but I don't think he's going to be too scared about that. This is a guy that's had good starts against teams like the Royals, the Yankees. He's been pretty solid out there. I'm not going to complain too much about Sagano. So looking at the bullpen for Baltimore, though, that is a concern. They are 5th worst in the majors, 25th overall out of 30 teams. A 5.04 bullpen ERA. That's terrible, and this offense has fallen off a cliff from what we saw last year, guys. They are 26th in the majors in runs scored. I mean, you don't see it. You don't see that. That's such a massive fall. They're also 26th in batting average, batting .227 as a team. Their slugging percentage is decent, but my God, these dudes cannot hit right now. So it's looking pretty bleak, and we are, 41 games into the season? This is a pretty big sample size, guys. So we'll see what they can do, but not expecting miracles. Looking at the numbers here, the Twins are plus 115. The Orioles are minus 135. We've got a total of 9. Minnesota's 8-14 on the road, 11-9-2 to the under on the road. Baltimore 8-11 at home, 12-5-2 to the over at home. That's actually an MLB best to the over at home. I could maybe be talked into over 9, I guess. No, actually, that's a lie. I can't be talked into over 9. I like both of these starters here, and while the Orioles bullpen is terrible, I would think this would be more of an under game than anything else, despite Baltimore being a huge over team at home. But I'm not too interested in the total. I will definitely be considering the Twins here at plus 115 as our dog of the day because, A, we don't have very many options today, and B, the Twins are a red-hot team, swinging some hot bats. They've got a very good starter on the mound. I know Sagano is good, but that bullpen for Baltimore is a disaster, so I think we can see the Twins get the win here and get the sweep. Jumping in real quick to shout out StumpTheSpread.com, guys. All of our videos are sponsored by them. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last 3 years running. It's off to a fantastic start to the year. Premium MLB picks yesterday at Stump The Spread, so on Wednesday, went 3-1 overall. So very, very good stuff there at Stump The Spread. You'll see exclusive free picks that are only posted there. Our free to use bet size calculator there, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the video, as I am not the premium capper for Stump the Spread. We got an expert over there with way more experience, way more knowledge, and some pretty fancy tools that he uses to make our predictions over there at Stump the Spread. So definitely get over there, check that out. You want to get on the email list for sure. You can just sign up for the email list by going to stumpthespread.com, setting up a free account. All they need is your name and your email address, obviously, and they will get you on that list. There's a bunch of free golf information coming out for this weekend. There's free picks every single day. There can be free pick parlays in there, like all kinds of good stuff, and it's absolutely free. So definitely get on that. And if you're having trouble finding it, maybe check your spam folder. That happens every so often. Also, if you're a huge fan of what we do here every single day, you can sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members are eligible for our members only giveaways. We'll be giving away 2 items of Stump the Spread merch here on May 20th. So if you're considering being a channel member, we've got right around 70 channel members right now for $5 a month or $4.99 or whatever it is for a channel membership. I know it's not very much. You got a shot to win Stump the Spread merch, which isn't even for sale yet. So you've got a chance to get in on some very exclusive stuff. So members also get early access to all of our videos, and you get your name up on screen in every video, just like right now. So consider signing up if that's something you're interested in. Now, guys, let's hop back into these games. Next up, we're looking at the Chicago White Sox going on the road to take on the Cincinnati Reds. The White Sox come into this game winners of 4 of their last 5. Pretty crazy stuff. One of the best stretches they've had in the last, including last season and this season so far. It's been pretty bleak, but they're finding a way right now. Handing the ball in this game to Bryce Wilson, who has yet to figure in a result. He's going to be making his 4th start of the season. His last one was a very good start against the Marlins. 6-2 win there for the White Sox. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run earned, or 1 run allowed. Walked 2, struck out 1. Very reasonable stuff there. He did get shelled by Houston the start before that, but he's had good outings. He's had bad outings. He's had good outings out of the bullpen. He's had bad outings out of the bullpen. It's a pretty mixed bag here with Bryce Wilson. Now with the White Sox bullpen, not so much of a mixed bag. It's usually pretty freaking bad, guys. A 4.42 bullpen ERA is not great. The offense is looking better recently, which is pretty wild. They've scored 4, 5, 4, 1, and 6 runs over their last few games. I know those aren't amazing numbers, but given what you see from the White Sox usually up there at the plate, it's looking pretty amazing. They're still last in the majors in slugging percentage. They are still last in the majors in batting average, and they're second to last in runs scored. So not an amazing offense, but we'll see what they do in this one going up against the Reds, who have lost 5 out of their last 6. It's getting pretty bleak. They're 20 and 24 on the year, so not like they're out of it, but my God, not looking great. Now they're handing the ball to Nick Martinez in this one. He's 1-4 on the year, a 4.23 ERA. He's coming off a terrible start against the Astros. I guess not that bad. He gave up 10 hits over 6 innings, but only 3 runs. Struck out 5 and walked 0, but it was a 3-0 loss there for the Reds. Generally speaking, he's been very good. So I'm expecting him to go out there and have a pretty decent outing there against the White Sox. Obviously not the scariest offense, but he might not get too much run support. We'll look at that in a second. But the Reds' bullpen continues to be decent. Not elite, but decent. A 3.52 bullpen ERA. Sure, we can work with that. The offense, though, has fallen off pretty drastically over their last few games. They've scored 2, 1, 0, 13, 0, and 4 runs over their last few. They're down to, I guess they're still 9th in the majors in runs scored because they had that 24-run game against Baltimore, but it's not looking great. It's not looking great. 21st in the majors in batting average, 22nd in slugging percentage. This is a bad offense. There's really no way around it. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The odds makers love the Reds here. They're minus 220. The White Sox are plus 185. We've got totals out there of 9.5 or 9. The White Sox 5-17 on the road, 14-8 to the under on the road. Cincinnati 9-12 at home, 12-8-1 to the under at home. So I think we have to consider under 9.5 in this game. Neither offense is that scary to me. Now neither starter is that terrible. The bullpens can get a little sketchy, but I do think under 9.5 certainly live in this game. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that one. And I also think we have to take maybe just a slight look at the Reds at minus 220 as our lock of the day. There aren't a lot of great locks out there, guys. Don't get me wrong. So we'll have to wait and see. But the Reds at minus 220 to avoid getting swept by the White Sox definitely has to be on the radar. Next up, guys, we got the Tampa Bay Rays going on the road to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Rays come into this game 19-23 on the year, fresh off that 3-1 loss yesterday. They're not having a great time, but we'll see if they can get a little bounce back here with my twin brother, Zach Littell, on the mound. He's 2-5 on the season, a 4.40 ERA, but over his last 3 starts, and honestly in 4 out of his last 5 starts, he has been excellent, and he's pitched well against some really good teams. A great start there at Yankee Stadium, giving up only 2 earned runs over 7 innings and only 3 hits. A very good start there at the Padres mixed in. His last time out, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs allowed against the Brewers, and it was eventually a 4-3 win there for the Tampa Bay Rays. So bro is figuring it out there. Major props to him. Love what we're seeing. The way he's throwing the ball is looking good. The bullpen for Tampa Bay this year has also been excellent. What are they, like 8th, 9th, something like that in the majors? A 3.46 bullpen ERA. Solid stuff there. The problem has been the offense is all over the place. They've scored 1, 11, 2, 3, 4, and 6 runs over their last few games. Not a ton of dudes hitting the ball extremely well right now. They're 23rd in the majors in runs scored, but 15th in batting average and 18th in on base percentage. So I think they should be a little bit better over the course of the year than 23rd in runs scored. Just right now, it's looking like a little bit of a struggle out there. So we'll see what they can do here against the Blue Jays, who have won 5 out of the last 6. They're up to 21-21 on the year. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Kevin Gausman, who's 3-3, a 3.97 ERA. Now, he's coming off a decent start there at the Seattle Mariners. I say decent, it wasn't great. I mean, 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs is nothing to write home about, but we do see Toronto eventually did get the 6-3 win there, so we'll give him some credit. Now, he has struggled. He had a great start against Cleveland, but bad starts against the Yankees, the Astros. Like, his season has not necessarily been smooth sailing, so we'll see what he can do here against Tampa Bay. Obviously not the toughest hitting team in the majors. The bullpen situation for Toronto, not one to get super excited about, but it's looking a little bit better. A 4.04 bullpen ERA, though, leaves lots and lots of room for improvement. No doubt about that. So we'll see what they can scrape together out of the pen. The offense is looking good, though, and that's not something I've said often about the Blue Jays this season. They've scored 3, 9, 9, 6, 6, and 8 runs over their last few games, and that covers series against Tampa Bay, the Mariners, and a game there against the Angels. So some decent competition mixed in. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. finding his swing. He's batting nearly 300, slugging 418. So those numbers are headed in the right direction. His power numbers are a little bit down, and as a team, the power numbers are slightly below average. Overall, they're 11th in the majors in batting average, though, and 14th in on-base percentage, so I expect to see those runs scored numbers begin to creep up for the Blue Jays as well. So, looking at the numbers here, the Rays are plus 140, the Blue Jays are minus 168. We've got totals out there of 8 or 8.5. Tampa Bay, 8-6 on the road, 9-5 to the under on the road. Toronto, 12-9 at home, 12-9 to the over at home. So this is a little bit of a tough spot, guys, but I have to say, I feel like the value once again is with those Tampa Bay Rays. The bats have to awaken at some point. I don't think Gausman is unhittable. Zach Littell's looked really good recently, so I think he should have the right medicine to cool off, an already semi-cooling off Toronto offense. So yeah, give me a look at the Rays here at plus 140, and there's some reality where this could find its way into being the dog of the day, especially considering we don't have that many options on this extremely short slate. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the Texas Rangers. The Astros come into this game after just winning 2 out of 3 there against the Royals, so pretty good stuff there. They were playing at home, then they had to go to Texas to take on the Rangers. Well, spoiler alert, guys, they were already in Texas, so that's not too tough a trip. They're going to be hitting the ball to Hunter Brown in this game, who's been lights out this season, one of the best starters in the majors. He's 6-1, a 1.48 ERA. We see the Astros are 5-0 over his last 5 starts. They've only lost 2 games that he started all season long, so it's looked really good out there for Hunter Brown. He gave up no runs on 2 hits over 5 2/3 innings against the Cincinnati Reds his last time out. So very good stuff from him. The Astros bullpen has been excellent all year long. They're the second lowest bullpen ERA in the majors right now. And the offense, that's where the problems are, guys. They've scored 4, 2, 5, 6, 9, and 3 runs over their last few games, and that's been one of the hottest streaks for this offense all season long. They're 18th in the majors in runs scored. They're 12th in batting average and 12th in on-base percentage, so they should be a decent-ish offense. It's just not really worked out that well recently, so we'll see what the Astros can do to put something on the board to support Hunter Brown, but it hasn't been pretty for them at the plate this year. So we'll see what they can get done here against the Rangers, who are playing really well themselves. They've won 5 straight. They're now a couple games over 500, just swept the Rockies. They had to go from, being at home to still being at home, so not any travel at all there for the Rangers, who are going to be hitting the ball in this one to Jacob deGrom, who's 3-1 on the year, a 2.72 ERA. Things didn't get off to the hottest start, but over his last 5 starts now, he's given up a grand total of 6 earned runs. Yeah. Pretty good. Seems like he's going to be all right. He hasn't pitched more than 7 innings in any of those starts, only getting to 7 innings once, but that was a dominant start against the Dodgers, and really he's just looked great. I mean, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. They were both solo home runs. Also struck out 10 against Detroit in a 10-3 win there for the Rangers his last time on the mound. So excellent stuff there. The bullpen continues to get better, looking above average now, a 3.73 bullpen ERA. And the offense is figuring things out a little bit too. 8, 4, 2, 6, and 10 runs over their last few games. They've got some dudes that are swinging it pretty well. They're still 27th in the majors in runs scored, but there's good things happening. I mean, Josh Smith's batting 314. Like, this team is finally starting to hit the ball. So a lot of good news there. The numbers for this game, a little bit surprised to see the Rangers as sizable favorites. They're minus 124. The Astros are plus 106. We got a total in this game of 7.5. Houston 7-11 on the road, 8-2 to the over/under on the road. Texas 15-8 at home, 18-5 to the under at home. That's an MLB best to the under at home. In terms of who's going to win this game, feels very much like a toss-up to me. Hunter Brown's been excellent. DeGrom's been excellent. That leads me to just think we're not going to see very much offense. Neither bullpen is terrible here. I know we got a total of 7.5. It was 7. Maybe I'd have to abandon ship here, but I think my main lean on this game is going to be under 7.5. I just don't think we're going to see a ton of offense. Both these teams aren't elite at the plate, even though they've been swinging the bats a little bit better. I think we're going to see offense be at a premium. In our last MLB game, before we hop over and look at that one NBA playoff game, we've got the Sacramento Athletics going on the road to take on the LA Dodgers. Now, these two teams are playing right now with the Dodgers leading 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. A pretty competitive game there for sure. Now, the Athletics 22-20 on the year, better than anybody expected. They actually won game 1 of this series 11-1 in a blowout win. So we'll see what they can do in this one, hitting the ball to Osvaldo Bido, who's 2-3 this season, a 4.75 ERA. His last start, not really great there against the Yankees. 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned, and gave up a couple of home runs. He's given up at least 1 home run in each of his last 5 starts and has given up a grand total of 9 home runs over his last 5 starts. He gave up 4 home runs in one game against the Rangers. So not great. Not great. Now, the Athletics bullpen also definitely a problem. A 5.04 bullpen ERA is a big yikes if you're asking me. Now, the offense definitely figured things out. Jacob Wilson, Brent Rooker, Tyler Soderson, all guys that are hitting the ball well. They're 13th in the majors in runs scored, but 3rd in batting average, 5th in slugging percentage. Like, this squad has amassed a lot of really talented hitters. So that's going to carry him to some wins this year. No doubt about it. Now, could that happen in this game? We'll have to wait and see. It'd be interesting to see what happens in their current game first. But the Dodgers, 27-15 on the year. They're slated to hand the ball in this one to Dustin May, who's 1-3 this season, a 4.08 ERA. Now, his last start, very good against the Diamondbacks. 6 2/3 innings, gave up only 2 earned runs. Unfortunately, he got a grand total of 0 runs of support. So that's not going to help. That's not really going to help. Pretty big yikes there. Now, he hasn't been lights out over the course of the season either, so he's going to have to step it up. That Dodgers bullpen's been struggling too, a 3.88 bullpen ERA. You don't love that, that's for sure. And the offense, it hasn't been that great either, really. I mean, they're threatening in their current game, so maybe they'll put up a big number, but only 1 run in the first game of this series. Like, they did score 8 in the last game of that series against the Diamondbacks, but it's just a little bit concerning. Like, they've been missing Hernandez, obviously, out with that injury. They're still 4th in the majors in runs scored and 2nd in on-base percentage, so I'm not ready to, be super scared, but I do think we need to start being a little bit concerned here about the Dodgers. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, the Athletics are plus 164, the Dodgers are minus 195. We've got a total of 9.5. Sacramento, 14-7 on the road. That's an MLB best road mark. They're 10-7-4 to the under on the road. The Dodgers are 15-4 at home. That's an MLB best mark at home. They're 12-7 to the over at home. This is a bit of a weird one, guys. I think Bito's pretty bad, so that makes me want to lean here towards the Dodgers pretty hard. Now, their bullpen hasn't been great, but obviously the Athletics bullpen has been horrible. I'm not in love with Dustin May here on the mound, but this price tag on the Dodgers being under, less than 2-1 is not too bad. So I think there's a very real chance we could be looking at the LA Dodgers. Here's our lock of the day. Now, don't go nuts on this lock of the day, guys. There's only 6 games on the MLB slate. Like, the lock of the day, the dog of the day, we're pushing a lot of stuff into a very small space here. So let's just be a little conservative on a day where we've got a very short slate. Now, guys, let's hop over and look at our one NBA playoff game that we've got out there. And we are currently looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder going on the road to take on the Denver Nuggets. Now, the Thunder and the Nuggets have been playing probably the best series this round, I would say. It seems like that's definitely the case. The Thunder are leading 3-2, but with this thing going back to Denver, it is kind of lining up to potentially be a 7-game series. So we'll see what happens in the last game, guys. The Nuggets had their chances, but eventually lost 112-105. The Thunder, SGA, very good out there. Overall, I don't know. I mean, 31 points there from SGA on very efficient shooting numbers. Only 6 free throws, so pretty ethical buckets from him in this one. 13 points off the bench from Caruso, another very good offensive game from him. And the Thunder are going to be pretty tough to beat when they shoot 41.4% from the 3-point line. That's just the truth. Also, they shot 10 more free throws than Denver. that's a pretty big edge to give somebody in a playoff game. So the Thunder, I'm sure, are very, very happy with what they got in that game. They come into this one as, a very young team. No shocker here. They are fully healthy in the playoffs. And as we've seen already, guys, that's pretty much half the battle, at least half the battle, I would say. So we'll see what they can get done in this one going up against the Nuggets, who are now at home. That's got to feel pretty good. Now, at Oklahoma City, they struggled shooting the ball. Michael Porter Jr., a horrendous shooting night, missed a couple huge threes late that were not even close, never really had a chance. Jokic was on fire. He was 5 of 7 out from 3, put up 44 points in a losing effort. That's rough. Jamal Murray was also very good, 28 points for him, but the bench, guys, holy cow. They put up a grand total of 10 points. We saw Peyton Watson play 15 minutes. He actually looked pretty good out there. I would expect him to get a little bit more run. Russell Westbrook, 1 of 7 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. He put up some other stats that weren't terrible, but yikes. And then, Strawther, nothing too special from him either. So we'll see what they can come up with this one. Aaron Gordon's got to play a little bit better. Michael Porter Jr. has to play way better. Christian Brown has to play better. He missed a lot of threes in that game. I think going back home could be just what the doctor ordered here for the Denver Nuggets, who they also, come into this game fully healthy. It's been nice to see everybody in this series stay healthy. Fingers crossed that continues here. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, see the Nuggets getting 5 points at home. We've got a total of 216.5. The Thunder, 25-17-2 against spread on the road. Very good against the spread on the road numbers. They're 48-42-2 to the over. Denver, 22-14-1 against spread at home, 54-50 to the over this year. And I may have typed that number in wrong because that seems like an awful lot of games. So maybe that's true. I don't know. But the trends don't really impact what we're looking at too much here in the postseason. And guys, I'm definitely going to be taking the Nuggets here at +5. You could even interest me in taking the Nuggets straight up to win this game, just taking them on the money line, because I think this series has kind of always been destined to go 7 games. I think we'll see Jokic play well, but more importantly than that, I think we're going to see guys like Brown, Michael Porter Jr., Westbrook, Peyton Watson perhaps, Aaron Gordon, all these other guys, the role players, the others, the ones that are so important in the playoffs. I think we see them play much better here being at home. I think that makes a big difference. So give me the Nuggets at +5. You could also talk me into over 216.5, I suppose, but I'm not really in love with that spot. But now, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some player props for this game. And the first one is not going to be a surprise. We're once again running it back. Give me the under there on SGA's points. The total in this one is 30.5. He had 31 on great shooting numbers in Game 5 at home. I think there's going to be a fall off for him here. Not a huge fall off. He's SGA. He's a monster. But I think we'll see him struggle a little bit here playing on the road at altitude. And he knows he's got Game 7 back home in his back pocket if he ends up needing it. I also think we're going to see Chet Holmgren struggle a little bit. The total on his rebounds is 9.5. I'll take the under. He had 8 at home in Game 5. I don't think he or Oklahoma City are going to do super great in Denver in this one. So yeah, him not coming up with 10 boards in this game, that seems very, very reasonable. He's going to struggle on the glass. He doesn't have a whole lot of size down there. We'll see if he develops some of that over the course of his career, but I don't think we'll see Holmgren get on the boards too aggressively in this game. I also like Dort under 2.5 made threes in this one. He went 4 of 8 from deep in Game 5. That's not the norm for Dort. That's a great shooting night for him. I think we see him cool off a lot here shooting on the road. Shooting on away rims is not easy. I'm sure, over the course of the series, he's getting some familiarity with that gym and the sight lines and all that kind of stuff. But I think we're going to see him struggle a little bit from long range in this game. And if he makes 2 threes in a game, that's not crazy. And we still cash our bet. I also like Jamal Murray here, over 2.5 made threes. It's a great price on that bet. He's going to be putting up shots. He made 3 threes in Game 5. I think him having another good performance here, especially getting to play at home, could definitely be in the cards. And he manages to, create space for himself. His teammates are always looking to set down screens for him, all that kind of good stuff. He finds some space. He's going to get some shots off in this game. And knocking down 3 of them seems like a lot, but it's not a lot if you're going to take 12 or 13 threes. Last but not least here, guys, I would be very remiss to leave Jokic out of this, and I'll take his over on assists. He's going to have a massive game, I think. The role players are going to play way better at home. That's where your assist numbers at least partially come from. I think we'll see them knock down enough shots, get enough layups, because he's going to set them up for them. And yeah, I think Jokic getting to 8 assists in this game is extremely live. I've also seen, you can get 2-1 or better on him posting a triple-double in this game. I think that's live here as well, but not something I'm willing to put in the pin comment or anything like that. But this assist bet, I think, is a pretty good spot. Unfortunately, guys, that's literally all the games we have out there for today. So do me a big favor, still slam that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Lots of new subscribers pouring in, so you'll love to see it. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate or anything like that. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com. Get on that free email list. There's tons of information out there, golf information. I know there's a big golf tournament coming up this weekend, like all kinds of good stuff on there. So definitely get on that email list as soon as you can to get that free information. It's just free information, guys, and it doesn't cost you a dime. Also, check out everything else we offer at stumpthespread.com. There's lots of good stuff over there. But regardless, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be back here, same time, same place for more sports betting action.